We have prophets and apostles revealing truth to us today. We are being given a blueprint for stuff that is coming. President Nelson has been so forward-looking in so much of what he says. Are we allowing that to impress upon our hearts and into our souls what might be coming? And do we have that charity and that love?
And a healthy concern.
Yes, a healthy concern for others and for our family and for those around us to say, okay, what now does the Lord have in store for me to help further his work and prepare for what's needed going forward? Too many of us stop short of that, and we're included in that as well at times. But if we lay that foundation and we put those ingredients together, that's what then opens the door for these miraculous, essentially, events to take place shortly hereafter. But that's open to all of us. Yeah. That's available. It wasn't unique to Lehi. We all have that opportunity.
But there's a lot of context behind these words, where it just kind of, Book of Mormon just kind of kickstarts into full gear with Lehi.
Yep.
And there's a lot of, probably was a lot of context in the missing manuscript.
We're not wading into the water here. We're jumping in like head first, man.
If we had the Book of Lehi, there may have been some building up to this. But the manual doesn't go a lot into depth into chapter 1, but chapter 1 of the Book of Mormon of First Nephi is perhaps one of my favorite chapters. And it's not because it's the one I've read the most. Stop it. It's because it's powerful. I mean, look at this vision that Lehi had. So he prayed with all of his heart, we have of his people, and as he prayed, a pillar of fire came down and dwelt upon a rock before him. I mean, just think about this, like how powerful this is. And then he goes into vision that causes him to quake and tremble exceedingly.
Yeah.
And what does he see? Being thus overcome with the Spirit, he was carried away in a vision. He saw the heavens open, and he thought he saw God sitting upon his throne, surrounded with numberless concourses of angels. He saw one descending out of the midst of heaven, and beheld that his luster was above that of the sun at noonday. He saw the Father, he saw the Son, and he also saw 12 others following him, and their brightness did exceed that of the stars in the firmament. This is like doctrinal overload here.
Yeah.
I mean, how much doctrine is being taught here? Remember, this is an Old Testament document, essentially, right? 600 BC. Okay, so immediately we're getting context that the prophets, and this is alluded to in the New Testament over and over, that Moses and Abraham, they had the fullness of the gospel. But you don't see that reading the Old Testament. But immediately we see that prophets in Old Testament times, they had an understanding of the gospel, even of Jesus Christ and his mission, and they had visions of what the mission of the Savior was and what that would look like. They had visions of the organization of the church and the gospel, right? The 12 apostles. We're seeing symbolism alluding to kingdoms of glory here. Mm-hmm. That you have one
of the stars,
right? That was luster above that of the sun at noonday, but then you have 12 others that exceeded the stars in the firmament, the brightness of the stars. It's immediately jam-packed with doctrine.